Hey mine, I do love your company. Grab snacks, ready for this epic showdown. I don't want to see you fighting anymore, I just want you to eat breakfast. On game day, it's a packed house with pro fighters from all over the globe. They will battle it out to decide who's the strongest and toughest, with a jaw-dropping prize of $5 million for the champion. Brandon strolled through the crowd alone, completely ignored, then boom. He spotted a face that looked way too familiar. After 20 years apart, he recognized his brother Tommy instantly. They trained under the dad for fighting since childhood. But Tommy was the real champ, racking up titles then being hailed as a boxing prodigy since he was a kid. So dad favored him, but let's be real, he was a violent drunk and mom was constantly in the line of fire. So, about 20 years ago, they couldn't bear it, so he left with Tommy. Later, he only heard mom died and Tommy joined the army, no more news. One evening, he found Tommy strolling by the beach, but instead of a warm reunion, Tommy was throwing major shade. He saw his brother as a total no to Tommy. Brandon ditched him and mom for dad and some women, while Brandon had fallen in love and decided to stick around for that situation. He pulled out pictures of his wife and daughter, attempting to draw closer. Yet from the very instant Brandon made the decision to stay, he had ceased being his brother ruled in Tommy's perception. So when mom was terminally ill, incredibly, he didn't even take the trouble to inform Brandon to come and see her one last time. Brandon was utterly perplexed. How could you train with dad but hold a grudge against me like this? Why could he forgive dad but not me? He believed he had given everything to you, mom, and the family. Nevertheless, they ended up with a not-so-happy confrontation. Just like that. Tommy also signed up for the big fight, but he was like a ghost. No intro music, no sponsors. No interviews, nobody knows where he came from, and online, he was a total mystery except for two viral videos. One of those was him knocking out a top-tier fighter in a second, which was basically his ticket to this match. The other scene showed him courageously saving a comrade by moving a tank door on the battlefield. Talk about a moment that garnered controversial attention. Tommy met his first opponent, a fierce fighter everyone thought would be a fair matchup. But Tommy wrapped up that fight with just one punch, a total breeze for him indeed. It was like watching an adult bully a kid. And when it was Brandon's turn, nobody had any faith in this 40-something physics teacher. They thought he was toast. The commentators even joked that he was a little goldfish who was about to get tossed into a shark tank to be eaten. As expected, from the very beginning to the end, he was getting clobbered throughout the match. His opponent tried to finish him off with a chokehold, and everyone was sure that was game over for Brandon. But he didn't tap out. He stubbornly held on for 20 whole seconds until the round ended. Round 2. Brandon was still under pressure in round 2, and seeing how stubborn he was, his opponent remained relentless as well. His opponent got frustrated, but then BAM. Brandon seized an opening and slammed him down. Then, he pulled off his signature move. No one knew how he made it this far. Meanwhile, back home, his wife was folding clothes and glancing at her phone like she was waiting for a text. Brandon was holding on tight, not giving his opponent an inch. This impossible win sent the crowd wild. His opponent, aiming to knock Brandon out in round 2, was stunned he got knocked out instead. Meanwhile, his wife finally heard back after what felt like forever. She was hanging on every second of the match. Brandon faced increasingly tougher opponents, but no matter how fierce the attacks got, he held his ground, waiting for them to tire out. He seized chances to submit them. Meanwhile, Tommy played the opposite role. He was always on the attack, leaving his opponents reeling. Whoa, after each fight, Tommy would step out like a ninja. But as he kept blowing up online, some info came to light. Turns out, Tommy was AWOL from the Marines. After being sent to Iraq, he bonded with comrades like family, but then he witnessed one of them get accidentally killed by friendly fire during a mission. Disheartened, Tommy fled the military and, by chance, ended up rescuing a drowning comrade. And of course, it got caught on camera. He entered this match in hopes of winning that $5 million to help his buddies. Dad found Tommy at an arcade, trying to give him a pep talk and mend the broken relationship. But Tommy was past needing him, even though Dad was making the effort to change. When Tommy really needed him, he was absent, so Dad's late apologies didn't mean much anymore. Here's a cup, don't drink it. Just grab some old papers and go back to your room. And then listen to some fishtails that nobody cares about. Now scram. Get out, get lost. What he didn't know was that Dad had already tried to talk to Brandon. Dad showed off his steady hands and claimed it was his 1000th day sober. He wanted a little forgiveness, and Brandon said had forgiven him, but he just couldn't trust him anymore. For his wife and daughter's safety, he never let Dad into their home. Good night, my daughter. Could that be Emily? Is this indeed Scrub? And is that Rosie over there? What a nice old man. Here's a cup of coffee. He thought his change of heart would win his sons over. It finally hit him today, he was dead wrong. The past was like a splinter stuck in their hearts that would never heal. He left feeling defeated. When Tommy got back to the hotel, Thad was completely wasted, had broken his 3-year sobriety streak. He was like a kid, crying into Tommy's arms. This time, Tommy didn't push him away but pulled him into a hug. I love you, old man. You make it hard not to. I love you and your brother forever. Some wounds never heal, and some mistakes are hard to forgive. But Tommy felt something melting in his heart tonight. It was like the grand finale of a SWAT, and subscribe for more epic content.